Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. I'm Nicolette Hodge, and this is War Alert. Sisters and brothers, we are in a very critical time period. We are in danger of total destruction. And the trap for our destruction is already set, sisters and brothers. So I'm coming to you with a danger alert, informing you that America will make a lethal, deadly attack on the original nation to wipe us out of existence. And the reason why, sisters and brothers, is because our history right here in America qualifies us to receive a reward for our submission to these devils. The original black man and woman endured 400 years of enslavement and affliction in this strange land. We are the true seed of Abraham. So let's read the scripture in Genesis that identifies our history right here in America. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. All right, sisters and brothers. Abram had a vision of horror, and he saw that his seed would be strangers in a land that is not ours, where we would be enslaved and afflicted for 400 years. Some translation says that we will be sojourners, okay, which means temporarily residing in a land that's not ours. It says after the 400 years, God would judge the nation that we served, and we will come out with great substance. So that 400 years went from 1619 to 2019. America's judgment started in 2020. So they're in judgment. And it shares that we will come out with great substance, which is identifying that we're leaving America. So for all those saying that we're supposed to stay here are liars, because scriptures clearly says that we are leaving. So it shares that we'll be enslaved and afflicted. Slavery is not the only thing that we experience. Slavery is economic exploitation, maximum profit, minimum overhead. So that does not include the affliction that we endured. These devils and demons try to downplay, devalue, and whitewash our experience by calling it slavery. However, they will not tell the truth about how it is that they behaved towards us, how they treated us during economic exploitation. So they don't tell you that they brutally raped and sodomized us, they sex trafficked us, they sexually exploited us, they raped us nonstop, forcing their seed in our wombs and making us give birth to the house Negroes, masses, black-faced children, the demons. The rape was so consistent that now half of the blacks in America are actually demons. And that is a result of the affliction that we endured, because the original black woman was the one getting raped 24/7. So they won't tell you about the affliction that we endured. They burned us, beat us, fed us pig shit out of troughs. They had picnics where they would pick us out, torture us, and hang us while they partied. They call our experience critical race theory. However, our experience is documented and recorded facts. There's nothing theoretical about the Holocaust. The Holocaust is the term that clearly identifies our history of enslavement and affliction in America. So these devils and their demon children hide our true history from us. Because if you knew your true history, you'll be looking for vengeance. You'll be ready to take vengeance. You'll be looking for the nearest exit out of America. You will be asking what your reward is for the painful sacrifice that you endured. So these devils don't even want you knowing that you have a reward. However, sisters and brothers, the Abrahamic covenant is your reward. So let's read it. In the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. All right, sisters and brothers. The land between these two rivers is Arabia. So the Abrahamic covenant identifies that we are leaving America and returning home to our promised land, Arabia. The Supreme Wisdom Lessons identify that Arabia is the root of civilization. Arabia is our heavenly home. It is the best part of the planet Earth, and we have preserved it for ourselves. So these devils are trying to prevent the fulfillment of the Abrahamic covenant by any means necessary. That's why these devils have a trap set for the original nation. And again, everything is in place, sisters and brothers. All they have to do is push the button. And so what we're witnessing in the world is a test run of the attack that these devils have planned for us. Understand that under our vision of the Abrahamic covenant, we're about to take our land, Arabia, back. We're about to take back everything that was stolen from us. Our honor, our minds, our power, our unity. We are about to rise as a strong, mighty army ready for war. And these devils anticipate our rise, which is identified in the book of Exodus. So let's read. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any ward, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. All right, sisters and brothers. These devils anticipate the uprising of the original nation. They know that we are stronger and mightier than them, and they fear that we will retaliate. They fear that we will side with America's enemies, fight against America, and leave America. So they're dealing with us wisely, dealing with us in a tricky, deceptive manner so that we don't identify their plans. However, sisters and brothers, the angel reveals everything. It identifies everyone. It reveals their thoughts and attitudes about what's going on. So the angel tells all their secrets. So they're dealing with us wisely, shrewdly, deceptively, yet the angel is informing us on what they're doing and what they will do. So the unsealed Bible keeps us well informed and several steps ahead of these devils, sisters and brothers, so that we can be successful in overcoming them. They want to prevent us from leaving the country and going home to our promised land. However, our vision, the Abrahamic covenant, is the vision that will unite the original black man and woman in America. These devils are scared of us uniting and rising up. So they plan to destroy us to prevent it. Now, there is currently a destruction happening in the Holy Land, which is Jerusalem. And the ones doing the destruction are an abomination. So let's read Matthew. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, which was spoken of through Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, let the reader understand. Let the reader understand. All right. So this scripture is identifying a destruction happening in Jerusalem that was spoken of by Daniel the prophet. Daniel the prophet told us years in advance. And now we are witnessing the abomination of desolation. And the ones causing this destruction is false Israel. False Israel put the Hamas uprising down with abominable cruelty. False Israel is destroying the Palestinians. And America is supplying the weapons and the ammunition. So America is 100% on board with the genocide of the Palestinian women and children, because they're the ones that's making this happen by supplying those weapons. And false Israel is gunning them down, recording it and laughing like it's a video game or a recreational activity. So take a few moments to listen to this clip, sisters and brothers.
الله بقى هيفلق الدنيا.
All right. So America is supplying this genocide. Therefore, they are also responsible for this genocide. Okay, and what's the problem? The problem is that false Israel is not supposed to be in Jerusalem in the first place. They are there pretending to be the original black man and woman right here in America. They are pretending to be the true seed of Abraham, who endured 400 years of enslavement and affliction in this strange land. We are the proof that the Abrahamic covenant belongs to us, sisters and brothers. So our history is there, and they cannot get rid of the sacrifice that we already made. So understand that false Israel is just that. They are false. They are fake. They are in the Holy Land, faking, pretending to be us. Therefore, they are the abomination that is destroying, desolating the Palestinians. However, no one is doing anything about it. And this has been going on since October 7th. So what, almost 2 years now? The world has been witnessing the genocide, which it could have been stopped a long time ago. However, the world is being desensitized to the wholesale murder and mass genocide of women and children. So here in America, the illegals are being rounded up and put in prisons in different countries, not the countries that they came from. Okay? The illegals are not being given due process, which means they're not being allowed to go to the court and defend themselves, which is against the U.S. Constitution. Because anyone on the U.S. soil is supposed to be given the right to see a judge and get defense before going to prison or being deported. Okay? And that isn't happening. Trump mobilized the National Guard against the illegals protesting, or the illegal protesting about the illegals in California, which is against the U.S. Constitution and against the governor of California's objections. So we see that these devils don't even follow their own laws. Plus, we are classified as animals through the 3/5 human clause. So we really don't have a leg to stand on in the event of any legal proceedings, because we ain't human to begin with, according to them. So we don't have any rights in America. Understand that, sisters and brothers. We do not have any rights in America, and we are not free. They're holding us here against our will. And the situation with the illegals is showing that these devils don't even need permission from each other to make an attack. Right? Because the bottom line is that they want the original nation dead. So they're not asking each other for permission to do it either. They got their plans in place, and they're going to move on it as soon as they're ready. So you take the illegals out, you take the Palestinians out, and you put all blacks in. And what do you have? You have an attack on all blacks. So understand that this is a test run, sisters and brothers, a test run for the attack that will be made on all blacks right here in America. America will send out a national security alert to kill all blacks immediately. And with the world being desensitized, when it happens, they won't even care. And with these devils controlling the media, there's no guarantee that anyone would even know that we're under attack. And every nation has had a hand in our destruction, so why would they speak out on our behalf? Every nation had a hand in the enslavement and affliction that we endured. So why would they speak up for us when they want us dead too? Why would they speak up for us when they want us dead too, sisters and brothers? This desensitization that's going on is preparing the world for the destruction that they have planned for us. So, again, their plans are already in place. Let's look at what America has written in the Department of Defense directive. Assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. All right, sisters and brothers, this DOD directive is identifying that America will use lethal force, which understands that lethal force means deadly force. And they will use deadly force if a group rises up. So understand that they cannot tell you that this is for black people. However, we are about to rise up, unite. That means we're going to be one group. And that right there is a confrontation. So the scriptures tell you that they're dealing with us wisely. And so they're not going to come out and say black people. However, we know that their agenda is to keep us divided, disunited, visionless, and powerless so that they can keep control over us. So when we rise up, unity, vision, power, all of that is a conflict for their agenda. So they're going to meet our uprising with deadly force. Now, the scriptures identifies that false Israel, those who claim to be us, are about to be destroyed. They themselves claim that they have never been in bondage to any man. They do not fit the description of Abraham's seed. In fact, scriptures identify that false Israel is the seed of the devil. False Israel is the synagogue of Satan. So let's get into Luke. Therefore, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, you will know that its desolation is near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those in the city get out, and let those in the country not enter the city. Okay, sisters and brothers. So false Israel is about to be destroyed. And we are about to rise up under our vision of the Abrahamic covenant. So these devils will make an attack to kill all blacks immediately. This is why we must flee, sisters and brothers. We must flee to avoid the trap that they have set for us. And we are being told in advance so that we can overcome these devils and all of our enemies, which Farrakhan is not telling you about this attack. He's not telling you about false Israel's destruction. He's not telling you about our vision. He's not telling you about anything. So he cannot possibly be the watchman like he lies and claims to be. He is not telling you what's going to happen before it happens because he cannot see. He is blind. So it's clear that he is not a prophet. He is the son of a devil, and he admits this. Therefore, Farrakhan is a demon. He is the chief demon. His father is a Portuguese Jew. So Farrakhan is a Portuguese Jew and black skin. So this is why he won't speak against false Israel. He cannot tell you that they stole our identity, because he himself is of the synagogue of Satan as well. And false Israel is his blood family. He's of that same seed. So he wants to prevent the rise of the original nation as well, because he's not the true seed of Abraham. So he doesn't have a covenant. So he despises our covenant. And he says that we ain't going nowhere and that we're sinful. However, he's a liar. He is the accuser of our brethren that's about to be cast down. So sisters and brothers, understand that we are surrounded by enemies. They all want us dead. However, they will not be successful. We are going to rise, unite, protect the original nation, and safely get home to our promised land. So sisters and brothers, this is a danger alert. We must flee. And with that, sisters and brothers, I will be back with more. Assalamu alaikum.